Let's learn about arrow functions. Okay, so what is arrow functions is we call it as syntactical sugar, which means it gives a better syntax and there are certain use of it as well. Okay, so we use something called arrow functions. So what is the difference is earlier how would you write a function? So as you know guys, this for each is a function which actually accepts a function as a parameter, which means if it is an array there's an for each. Okay, then we used to loop this again and again till there's an element in this. So here there are three elements. So this function will be executed thrice. So first time the element will be a, so console.log element will be a. Second time the console dot element will be b, and then in the third it will be c. Okay, so for each is a function which is already in array 1, which because it is an array, so every array in JavaScript will have this for each method in it, and if you're passing a function inside that, that function will get executed how much ever times this how much elements are here in this array. Okay, so here you see the output, so it should output as a, and second b, third c. Now the confusion is why the function looks like this. We never saw a function like this. Our function syntax is something like function and then this. I would say that this is the head of the function and then this is the body of the function. I don't think we technically say this is the head, but let it be. It looks good, right? So function, this is the head of the function and this is the body of the function where we write. So if the same stuff is written like this is more clear for us. We have already worked on it. Okay, so we used to write it this way. Okay, and I'll just take this function and I used to put it here. Okay, this is how we normally have seen it. Okay, we have a function inside this now. So here the first parameter we can get in the first parameter will be the element. Okay, each time there's a loop, the element will be the first param. So I can get it in any name. If I'm getting it at a, so I can do console.log a, and then the same output we'll get. So the same thing. Okay, the same thing I have done here also, but here it is function syntax, but here we are using a shorthand of this. It's like little like a shorthand itself. Okay, so what is this? How do we understand this? That is what we are going to see now. Okay, but these both are same. Okay, now I run it, a b c and again a b c. So the first a b c comes from this one and second a b c comes from the other, mine, this one. Okay, so this is the console output, guys. This is simply they have made a demo where we can write JavaScript and see the output here, but this is not scrolling. It is scrolling. Yes, ABC. Okay, so fine. So let me explain what is arrow functions. So now we generally write a function like this: function, function. This is the functions syntax. So function keyword should be there. We should have the head where we'll have any number of params, and then here you'll have the body. This is the syntax. So just consider if there are three parameters for a function, we'll call it as a comma b comma c, and in the function body if you have to just console.log abc, you can simply console it like a comma b comma c. This is a normal function, but what if we need the same as an arrow function? Okay, so now I'm not having a name for it. I'm just storing this in a variable called my function. Okay, in this function declaration also there are two types. We can write a function like this. This is also a valid function. Okay, and the same function can be write in another way. How? Function my fun equal to, sorry, sorry, function, and then you put this, and you can write it this way also. So these both are a valid function declaration syntax, but we don't call both of them as function declaration. We have different names for this. Okay, and I always get confused with what is the name of which one, but let's see. Okay, now you understand, right now we are taking a function. Here we are taking a function and we are storing it in a variable. This is also valid. Now you are writing the function with the name of the function itself. This is also valid. So this is my function also valid, This my function also valid. Both are same. Okay. So one of this is called as function declaration and one is function assignment. Difference between function definition, function declaration, and function expression. Okay, they call it in different ways. So both are same, but there are some differences in it when we are allocating the memory and when we come for a concept called hoisting. But let's don't confuse it with it now. Okay, so these two methods are having their own names. Okay, one of it is called as function declaration and one is called as function expression. Let's just find what is function declaration. Okay, this we called as function expression. This is expression and okay, this is function declaration. So if you are assigning it to a variable, we call it as an expression, and if you are directly writing it, we call it as a declaration. Okay, so now this is a declaration and this is an expression. Okay, both are the valid form of creating a function. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same function in arrow function method in the shorthand. What I have to do there is where my function, we don't want this function anymore. Okay, you can just remove it. That is the first change. You remove this function and the head and body is separated by nothing here, right? In normal syntax, here you have to put an arrow. Just consider that this is the neck. We have head, we have body. Okay, earlier you have the function keyword here, but now you remove that and you are just having the neck here. We call this as fat arrow. So now this is a valid function. Okay. So now the other simple syntax of this is the actual full syntax of it. Okay, this is shorthand and this is the full syntax of the shorthand, and even we can make the shorthand even more shorter. How? If you're not having anything, we're not having multiple lines, then we don't want to wrap it inside the braces. So this is another change. So now this is also a valid function. Okay, if we have multiple lines, we definitely need to have braces, but now we can remove the brace because there is only one line. Okay, so again we can make this again shorter when there is only one param. Right now there is three param, so we should put it in the brace. But just consider if there is only one param, like if there is only one param like this for this function, we can have it like this. This is proper, this is valid syntax, but there is no need of this as well. Now this is even shorter. Okay, so this is what you are having right here, because this is a function, it is having only one param and it is having only one line in the body, and both are separated by this neck. This nobody will call it as neck. I'm just doing saying it for understanding purpose. Okay, for understanding purpose I'm saying this is the head, this is the function body. Function body everyone used to say, that's fine. Okay, so this is function body, this is head, and I consider this as a neck. Okay, so if your head is having a lot of things, you have to wrap it in the bracket, and it is this circular bracket. Okay, and if you are not having multiple, there is no need of this bracket. We can remove it if it is only one. The same way we can have braces for the body, and if it is a single line, there's no need of this braces. So that is what we call as arrow function. We have some benefits of using arrow function when it comes for this context. Remember we learned about this. So there this will work in a different way, but let's don't confuse it now. But always remember this point. There is an important point to be noted in array function when it comes for the context, which is this. Okay, which we would learn later. Don't confuse it now. But right now I'm just explaining you the valid syntax. Okay, clear? Any doubts here? Any doubts here, guys?
No.
Okay. So now we used for each for looping this. So if you put this function inside the for each, okay. So we used to call this for each as a higher order function. Why we say it is a function which accepts a function as a parameter. Okay, is called as higher order function. Also, a function will be higher order function if it is returns a function as an output. We never saw such a case. But there will be also such cases where a function will return a function as an output of it. Okay, but that's the next point. But now just keep it in mind, like a function, if it is taking a function as an input, we call it as higher order function. So this is an higher order function which stays with the array prototype. Okay, it is in the array. And why, how this is being processed? If it is for each, it will be executed how much ever times there's element. The same way we now have this map, filter, everything. So they will also execute it how much ever times it is, but there's a small changes in it. We use map, we use filter, we use find index and all for certain purposes to do something with this array. Okay, one of the purpose we used to do with array is we have to loop it and to show what is inside it or process something here. So there we use for each. So there are places where we use map, where we use filter, where we use sum and reduce or everything. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn tomorrow. Okay, no, you are going to teach tomorrow, right? Any doubts?
Once can you tell which one for me? Sum and every or fill?
Every and some. Every
Okay.
and some. Why I am giving both to you is they are nearly the same with this minute difference.
Okay.
This that the first one will say this, the other one will say that. That is the difference. So should be easy.
Mm. Okay.
One little confusing stuff here should be reduced. Little complex, but I believe like Karthikana can do it. A little complex stuff. Otherwise, other things should not be so complex. It should be easy. Okay, just try it because we have a day, right? And that's it from my side for the day, guys.